Mr. Speaker, the Black Stars technical team has assured my ministry that all necessary preparations have been made and that the players are in high spirit, ready to give their all for the nation. This commitment is evident in the call-up squad released by the head coach. Beyond the tactics and selection, the technical team is tasked with instilling a winning mentality in our players. We must restore pride in the Black Stars jersey and ensure that our national team once again becomes a force to be reckoned with in African and global football. Mr. Speaker, this is a national mission, and it requires the support of everyone, including this august house. I extend a special invitation to all members of Parliament to join us in the stance as we support the Black Stars in their upcoming World Cup qualifier against Chad on Friday, 21st March 2025 at 7 p.m. at the Accra Sports Stadium. Let us lead by example, show that when it comes to national football, we are united in purpose, passion, and patriotism. Ghana's football must rise again, and rise it will.
At the local level, Mr. Speaker, officiating is poor, not the best at all. And the pitches, Mr. Speaker, let me share this with the minister. Currently, I use Tamale Sports Stadium, Ali Muhammad Sports Stadium as a venue for Karela. Even the field, it is not the state, not the National Sports Authority. We've had to fix it for our purposes in order to meet the minimum requirement of the GFA in order to use the pitch for purpose of our competitive football. So that's why I say that you have to have a lot of interest. The GFA, where are they spending their money on? You must raise those questions for every tournament. Mr. Speaker, even just participating, you marvel how much money Ghana will make from participating in a World Cup. The players even have personal benefits. In fact, the players who went to Qatar, a player who appeared only once went home with not less than $90,000 as his participating reward or benefit. Not to talk of how much the country got. If you fared better and you got to semi-finals and finals, the bigger the reward. So, Minister, we have no excuse against Chad. Our reputation in football have waned over the years because of the indiscipline. I'm happy you have shared with me that you want to activate school sports and school competitive football. That is where talents are. And Mr. Speaker, today, if you are sending players to Europe, they are now looking for 14, 15, 18 years. In fact, even for Premier League, one may want to advise that, is that where you belong? Because you get these age players at that level, but the value is in 15, 16, 17. Look at the academies and how much right to play is making. And we need, as Minister said, partnership. And you must get the private sector. I think that corporate entities, as part of their corporate social responsibility, must support football. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, it is a very profitable undertaking if you are successful even with just one player. One player. Mr. Speaker, one player. It's good to fight a December election today. Thank you, sir.
We wish the national team the very best, and we ask the technical team, the management team, and the executive committee of the National Football Association to put in everything that is required of them to ensure that we garner all the 6 points needed to cushion us enough. It's not reasonable. It doesn't sit well with us for a team like Comoros to be beating us back to back. I don't understand. Honorable Haruna Idrisu's steadfast team in Tamale can beat Comoros. Why not our national team? So they need to be serious with the kind of players. And look at this game time they have in Europe. Bournemouth, Semenyo, Sulemana in Southampton, Partey is a regular at Arsenal, and Jordan Ayew at Leicester, Kudus at West Ham. They are all top-class players, but when they come here, we don't see the commitment from them. And that is what hurts a lot of Ghanaians. So when you go to the dressing room and to give them some pep talk, talk to them. That if we invested so much in them, and since 1992, we haven't won any medal, apart from the bronze we got from Barcelona. So we wish them well, but we'll criticize them when they poorly perform. And for some time now, Ghanaians have been bleeding with the performance of the Black Stars, given the amount of money we've been spending on our national team and the kind of results they produce, Mr. Speaker. This should be a turning point in the life of the national team, the Black Stars. I've seen the list from the coach. I've seen the arrival of some of the key players into the national team, who are playing Madagascar on Friday. Madagascar. Chad Friday and Chad on Monday. We expect the team to deliver all 6 points to give the nation some hope that they are serious with regards to the investment and the emotions Ghanaians attach to the national team. Parliament will give the national team the due support, and I entreat the minister to support members to come to the stadium with some complimentary. We are not asking for VIP. Me, I love the popular stand when I can speak, where I can speak my mind.
Anytime you were at the Black Stars camp, the two of you always hanged out together. You said one is diabolic, one is. but with your time in the Black Stars, I mean, what was this thing about you, Sule, Capitano, Laye, Antonianan? What was it about you guys that you understood so much that at a point you guys were regarded as one of the best midfielders in the world?
Whew, that's a good one. But I think those times we've known each other since we were very, very young, and most of us went through the youth age groups, so we kind of all know each other very well and how each other plays. So I mean, so I think that's why we were so connected. And when you look at it, Stephen Tornado was our senior. Next was Lai, but they all come down to our level. Like, okay, we're all the same. So, and when you have leaders like that, behaving like that, it kind of gives you even more confidence to go out and help them to to achieve something.
It was great. The quartet you guys had was something else. You were just unbeatable at that time. But does it hurt you that in that illustrious career that you had with the Black Stars, you never won a trophy?
Yes, because we were so lucky. As you said, the Cano 8, we were so lucky. We got so close, but it didn't happen. So I mean, we could have loved to win something for the nation, but it didn't happen. So we have to move on.
What would you have done differently if you had the opportunity now?
But nothing. I just go out there and play my football, and do the best I can to win games.
What was it? What's the difficulty? Sometimes Ghanaians. Is it a case of sometimes Ghanaians didn't understand the dynamics of playing in Europe and playing for the Black Stars, and therefore thought at some point that you were not too committed for the Black Stars at some point?
You know what? People are always going to have their opinions and stuff like that. They don't know what goes on, behind closed doors. But there's a lot that goes on. I'm not going to sit here and say everything. But
yeah,
I mean, you have your opinion. It's okay. It's fine. But I mean, don't insult me. That's what a lot of them intend to do. But I mean, So it got to a point you also have to, look back and look after yourself, because at the end of the day, you are, the legs that kind of, feed you. So sometimes you have to also think about that.
When Ghanaians are they're not happy with you and they're insulting you guys and all of that, how do you guys take it?
I mean, you can't please everyone. So you have to always look at the positive side. You always look forward and look. I always find a way to to stay positive to be positive in every situation, and that's the sort of person I am, and I'm very calm to that. And guess what? After a few years, the same people who are insulting us are calling us legends.
Yeah.
So,
so it means they didn't really mean it. I mean, it's like they love you, they want the good things.
So that now you can say, okay, whatever you are doing now, make sure you give your best. They might insult you, but along the line, a few years later, you'll be one of them.
Who do you think filled your shoes when you left the Black Stars? Between Antoniana and Ajman Bedu?
I think they both did well. I've known Anthony since secondary school days. Ajingo came in. I think they both, did their best, and they both represent the nation as they're supposed to.
Do you see Black Stars winning any trophy anytime soon?
I think so. It just have to happen. When is that going to happen? I don't know, but I'm sure it'll happen at some point.
Because the last time we won an African Cup, it was 1982. You were not born then.
That was a long time.
You were not born then, 1982.
That was a long time.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll get someday.
Yeah, I believe. I believe we'll get there.
With the crop of players we have now, you think that because you see, one of the things that a lot of people really do sometimes is they do a lot of comparisons, player for player, strength for strength, talent for talent, and everybody still feels that your squad will be difficult to get again.
I know what you mean, but that's why I hate comparisons, because everyone is different and everyone have their way of playing football. So for me, it makes no sense in a way. You have to compare, someone to, you have to compare people. But as you said, people just, I don't know, maybe it's boredom or something. They just want to have a talk. But I mean, these things are always going to be there. But you just have to, keep supporting the team, because I think this is a time that the Black Stars need the nation's support more than anything else. So I think they should be behind the team and support them and stay positive, and hopefully.
You think we can dismiss Chad on Friday?
Yes, we can, but we need to prepare ourselves, and sometimes I hate when people say, Black Star couldn't beat Sudan, Black Star couldn't beat Libya. That's so disrespectful, because you have to respect your opponent, and you've been in the game, you know the game. The underdogs, when they are going to play against the favorite, they have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So they give their best. It's up to you, the favorite one, to overcome that. Because if they lose, okay, they know they're going to lose.
Yeah.
But if they win, it's a big thing. So, yeah.
What do you think that countries like Morocco are doing so well that we are not?
I don't know. Maybe because of the way they are treating the players, or maybe how the players are performing in their various clubs and stuff like that. Because that plays a big role in when you come to the national team. So maybe they are. I don't know what they are doing, but maybe they are doing something good, and monitoring their players and checking up on them, because nowadays football is all about stats and and stuff like that, and see how they are doing, and physically, technically, and everything. So yeah.
Did you get a lot of support during your time with the national team from the FA, the government? Did you get a lot of support, especially during times when you got injured?
Fifi, that's what I said. I'm not the type that will come and complain. It's they could have done better, but it's what it is. I look back, I don't regret anything. At some point I have to take decision for myself, which a lot of people, the nation or the fans, they really understand. But at the end of the day, life goes on. I've moved on, and so I'm not going to sit here and complain and point fingers and
Sometimes we you hear a lot of people and some comments that comes like the way we treat our players. One very big legend was speaking to me last week, and he said to me that almost every captain that leaves the Black Stars leaves out of bitterness, or some good players in the Black Stars leave out of bitterness, and things that have happened to them in the national team. He gave me an example of Abedi Pele leaving in 1998 out of bitterness. Even with our captain, Baby Jet, also leaving out of bitterness. If you listen to how Dede Ayew is also going through out of bitterness, and at a point Sule Muntari also left the Black Stars out of bitterness. So there's a lot of, most of our players, you think that the way we treat our players is the best way? Because you have been on the receiving end of the treatment, so you'll be able to tell.
Yes, but as I said earlier, I always find a way to think positive, to take positive side of every situation, and everyone is different. Yeah, maybe the way they treat them is not good, but for me, I will not look back and say, I left with bitterness in me. But everyone is different, and also sometimes I think also sometimes a lot comes from the fans. The way they talk about the players and stuff like that, and even then they start rumors, and this one is not nice with this one don't like this one. Then it goes to these players' heads, it feeds their egos, and then they start, parting ways with each other, which is not good, because there's always a way that you can sit and talk with your teammate. When I joined the Blast, I had that with Tornado. He was a captain, and people start, saying all these sort of rumors between me and him. But we call each other on the phone and we talk about it. And we have the same guys that will talk behind us. This same guy will talk behind me, and he'll go to Stephen and say the same thing. So I'll just pick up the phone, call him up and say, hey, this is what this guy said. And he came to say the same thing. But others, it will feed their egos, and then they start, like, okay, I thought he's my friend. Then they start distancing themselves from each other, which I think is wrong, but it's